गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् अपारकरुणासिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरेन्द्रगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहं। सद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। Harihi Om. So welcome to Vivekachudamani class. In last class, we saw in general about the three gunas. What is Sattva Guna, what is Rajo Guna, what is Tamo Guna. We saw a little bit about these three gunas as explained in Bhagavad Gita and other texts. In this class, we are going to see about these three gunas, but in a more focused manner, like in a more in a more graded manner, in a more systematic manner. We are going to see about these three gunas as from a Vedantic point of view. Normally, for any erroneous perceptions, these two processes should occur. What is an erroneous perception? Say, if two people are talking about something, I am guilty of something, and those two people, they are in front of me. I cannot hear them, but I can see them. They are at a distance. I cannot hear them, but I can see them. They are talking and they are laughing. And I mistake that as they are talking and laughing about me. I mistake their laughing as a gossip about me. That is an erroneous perception. One example of erroneous perception. Another example of erroneous perception, rope snake analogy. That is a rope. It is completely dark. It is little bit dark, and there is a rope in my house. I erroneously understand that to be a snake, and then I fear that snake. It is not a snake. It is vastutaha. It is a rope, but I have an erroneous perception of that rope to be a snake. If we see any type of erroneous perception, the following two processes will occur. If we break through our thinking process, the following two should occur. The first one is called as not understanding of the object. In the first example, when the two people are talking, I don't hear what they talk, right? So that is not understanding what is really happening. In the second example of rope and snake, the first thing that causes the erroneous perception is an ignorance. Not understanding means ignorance of the rope. But the ignorance alone will not cause the erroneous perception. I just don't hear what they are talking. That is fine. When I just don't know, I won't get mad at them. But when will I get mad? Only if I think that they are talking about me. So the second process is misunderstanding of the object. The first step is not understanding of the object. The second step is misunderstanding of the object. In my second example, the first step, I don't know that it is a rope. If I don't know that it is a rope, I am happy. I don't even know that it exists. But the problem comes if I mistake rope as a snake. So I have a wrong understanding of that rope. So these two are the cause, or these two are the steps of erroneous perception. Let us talk about Brahman. Shastra says we are the Paramatma Vastu. we are ever mukta. But we don't understand that we are the Paramatma. And second, even more problematic is we think that we are Jivatma. First is non-understanding of Paramatma or avidya of Paramatma. That alone might not even cause this much problem. But what causes more problem? I understand myself. I erroneously understand. I misunderstand myself to be a Jivatma, and that is what causes all the problems, right? So, in Vedanta, these two have been given technical names. The first, avidya, or not understanding of the object, is called as avarana. What is avarana? Literally, avarana means an enclosure. An enclosure is called as avarana. I'm surrounded by four walls. So these four walls are called as an avarana. And so that is the power of ignorance. And the wrong understanding of the object is called as power of projection. I project a gossip onto those two people's mouth. I project a snake onto that rope. So, first one is avarana, a wheeling power, and the second is vikshepa, the power of projection. So, with this background, we will study about the three gunas. And in the last shloka, Acharya says, Shuddhadvaya Brahma Vibodhyanashya Sarpa Brahmo Rajju Vivekato Yatha Rajaha Tamaha Sattvamiti Prasiddha Gunastadiya Prathitaisva Karyaihi. Hey Sishya, when you destroy the Maya, which is composed of these three gunas. What are the three gunas? Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Sattva. When you destroy the Maya by Maya, which operates through these three gunas, hey Sishya, you will understand that you are that Parabrahma Vastu. Meaning what? You are that Parabrahma Vastu, but because of the Avarana Shakti, you forget that you are Parabrahma Vastu, and more badly, because of the Vikshepa Shakti, you understand yourself to be a samsari, says Guru. And now he is going to explain these three gunas. And this Tamo Guna is responsible for the power of wheeling, the avarana shakti, the ignorance of the fact that my original nature is Param Brahman. And the Rajoguna is the power of projection or Vikshepa Shakti, which causes me to identify with samsari. First one, I am ignorant of my real nature, which is Brahmavastu, that is Tamoguna. The second one, I superimpose myself to be a samsari. I project myself as a samsari, and Rajoguna is responsible for that. And Sattva is that knowledge. The knowledge, the means by which I understand my original nature is called as Sattva. Let us see individual shlokas. Guru says, Yesha vrittirnama tamo gunasya shaktirmaya vastvavabhasatenyatha saisha nidanam purushasya samsrutehe vikshepa shakte pranavasya hetuhu yesha Avritirnama tamo gunasya. This avriti is avarana. The wheeling power of tamo guna is the guna of tamoguna. The nature of tamoguna is avritihi. It means it causes me to forget my real nature. Shaktirmaya vastu avabhasatenyatha saisha nidanam purushasya samsmrite. And because of that avarana shakti, vikshepa shakti then proceeds. Only when I am ignorant of the real nature of the original vastu, I can superimpose another thing, right? If I hear what those two people are talking, I won't even misunderstand them as gossiping. The problem comes only if I don't know what they are talking about. If I know that to be a real rope, then the problem of superimposition of snake cannot even happen. The problem comes only if I'm ignorant of the rope in the first place. So that's what he says. Tamoguna is vikshepa shaktehe pravanasya hetuhu. Vikshepa shaktehe hetuhu is tamoguna. Because of the avarana shakti of tamoguna, later the vikshepa shakti takes over. And what are all the attributes of tamoguna? Abhavana va viparita bhavana asambhavana vipratipattirasyaha samsargayuktam nacha vimunchati dhruvam vikshepa shaktihi kshapayatyajasram abhavana viparita bhavana asambhavana vipratipattihi. So these are the four attributes of tamoguna. So tamoguna means what? Tamoguna means no knowledge, ignorance, sleepiness, etc. And what does tamoguna do? First we will say viparita bhavana. Viparita bhavana means dehatma buddhi. I misunderstand myself as the Deha, not as the Atma that operates through the Deha. I consider myself as the Deha. So if somebody scolds me, what are they scolding? They are scolding my Deha. They are scolding the actions of the Deha. I take that they are scolding myself, and then I get so sad. If somebody is praising me, what are they really praising? They are really praising the Deha, or they are praising the actions of the Deha. And then I get so happy that they are praising myself. Acharya says here both are not wrong, both are not right, because whatever praise or scolding you are getting, whatever the thing that you are transacting with, it is all through the Deha, but you are not the Deha. So Dehatma Bhavana is called as Viparita Bhavana, misunderstanding. Next is Abhavana. Abhavana, Asambhavana, Vipratipattihi. These three are related to scriptural teachings. Abhavana is rejection of teaching. There are a lot of people who reject Vedas. They all are tamoguna pradhanis because they don't want to know their real nature. They don't accept Vedas as the supreme authorities. Nastikas. In fact, the word Nastika is misunderstood nowadays. People think Nastika as people who reject God. That is not true. In fact, the real meaning of the word Nastika is those people who reject Vedas. Because there are people, there are philosophies which accept Vedas but reject Bhagavan. They don't need a personal God. Purva Mimamsa is one such school. They accept Vedas, but they don't accept Bhagavan. Those mathas, those philosophies are called as Nirishwaravada. Ishwara Bhagavan. Nirishwara no Bhagavan. So they are real atheists. But Nastika, Nastikhyavada is not accepting Vedas. Vedas are the original scriptures. Vedas are Apaurusheya. They are not written by any humans. They are already present. They are always present surrounding us. And we have to accept Vedas as the original source of knowledge. And those people who don't accept that are called as abhavana. They reject the teaching. And why do they reject the teaching? It is because of tamoguna. Next is asambhavana. So you have to add this a to the next word. Asambhavana means I accept teaching, but I have a lot of doubt. You know, agnostic, they say, right? I don't know if it is there or not. It looks like when I listen to Vivekachudamani class, it seems to make a lot of sense. But if I think, it doesn't seem to make any sense to me. Doubting Thomases, we say, right? So that doubting quality is also due to tamoguna. And the next is vipratipattihi. Vipratipattihi is even more bad. It is viparita. Vipratipattihi means it is misunderstanding of the teaching. When you are reading, you have to go through a process, right? It has to be from a guru to sishya. We cannot just take a book and read, because if we take a book and read, what is going to happen? We are going to misunderstand the teaching, because we don't know what the author originally intended. They say the story. Some poet apparently compared a beautiful woman's face to the moon. Today is full moon, right? So a poet said, oh, her face is like the moon. Let us all go out after the class and see how does moon look like, whether it is comparable to a human face or not. Just imagine Photoshop a face out of a body and put moon's picture onto the face. It's going to look so ugly, right? So one person said, hey, maybe she does not have any eyes or ears or nothing, just like moon, because moon does not have any eyes or ears. Maybe she does not have any eyes or ears. That's why this poet compares her face to the moon, said one person. The next person said, oh, maybe her face has got lot of ridges, gundungurima irukkiradhu. She got lot of pimples. Maybe that is what this poet is trying to say, because moon has got lots of ups and downs, hills and troughs, right? Maybe that's what this poet is trying to say, said the other person. The other person said, hey, just like moon goes down, right? From Paurnami, moon is full moon. But as Pratama, Dvitiya, and Tritiya goes, the moon decreases, right? Maybe she has got a strange disease and her face is being eaten away. That's why the poet compared her face to the moon. Which one of all these three is right? It seems like all of the three is right, right? But what is the original intent of the poet? That we can know only by talking to the poet. That is what Shastras as well. If you want to know the meaning of this shloka, the shloka can be interpreted in many different ways. How do we know what is the exact meaning of the shloka? We can only ask the author, and that is what Guru Parampara is. If Shankaracharya has written this text, he has told the original meaning to his Sishya, and then that Sishya has propagated the meaning to the next one. That Sishya has propagated to the next one, and that unbroken chain has come up until you, so that you don't misunderstand the scriptures. If I read from any book, if I have any questions, Book cannot, deal with all my questions. Book cannot answer all those questions. And I get vipratipattihi, meaning misunderstanding of the scriptures. And that is because of tamoguna, says Shankaracharya in this sloka. And he says, okay, what are the practical manifestations of tamogunas? He says in this shloka, Ajnanam, Alasya, Jadatva, Nidra, Pramada, Mudhatva, Mukhastamo Gunaha. Ajnanam, ignorance. I don't know about anything. That is a manifestation of Tamoguna. Alasyam means anger. Sorry. Alasyam means laziness. So we know there are a lot of couch potatoes, right? Who does not even move from where they are sitting. So that alasyam is because of tamoguna. Jadatvam means dull. Whatever you teach them, they cannot grasp. It is because of tamoguna. Next is nidra, sleep. Sleeping beauty. I always sleep for 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours a day. Even if I sit for Vivekachudamani class, or maybe especially if I sit for Vivekachudamani class, I sleep. So that is because of tamoguna, nidra. Pramada means carelessness. I have told the meaning of pramada in the last class itself. In Tamil, pramada means superior. Romba pramadama padna. But the real meaning of Sanskritam pramada is carelessness. And mudhatvam, stupidity. How much ever you teach someone, they just cannot understand. All these are the result of tamogunas. We have to understand, we have to identify the problem. If we have any of all these things, first we have to understand that it is due to tamoguna. And number two, we have to take appropriate actions to correct this tamoguna. If we want to study scriptures, or if we want to just go in life, if we want to progress in life, this tamoguna is never going to help us in order for life's progression, in order to progress in life. So noi nadi, noi mudal nadi, adu tanikkum vai nadi vaipach செயல், says Thiruvalluvar. Once if you have a problem, first you have to identify that you have a problem, noi nadi, and then you have to identify the source of the problem, noi mudal nadi. Then you have to find a solution to the problem, adu tanikkum vai nadi. So all these gunas, ajnanam, alasyam, jadatvam, nidra, pramada, mudhatva, all these are noise, all these are the disease. What is the reason for these? The reason for all these qualities is tamoguna. That is the noi mudal. And what is the medicine for tamoguna? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, we have to avoid all those food which propagates tamoguna. If we have to, it is there in food, it is there in our day-to-day life, it is there in our lifestyle. Remember what we said in the last class. So we have to avoid all those things that that increases tamoguna. Then we can get out of tamoguna, says the Acharya. Now coming to rajoguna. Remember what is rajoguna? Tamoguna is avarana shaktihi, wheeling power. Rajoguna is vikshepa shaktihi, the power of projection. Here Acharya says, vikshepa shakti rajasakriyatmika yatah pravritti prasuta purani ragadayosya prabhavanti nityam dukkadayo ye manaso vikaraha. Says vikshepa shakti rajasaha kriyatmika. Rajoguna is manifested as the power of projection. And what is the result of that? Kriyatmika. This is what makes us work. This is what makes us do things. உடம்பு அடடடான்னு இருக்கும் இல்லையா? So that is because of more rajoguna. There are several people who cannot sit in a place for small amount of time. Hey, just sit, just see the harati and go. They say, no, sir, I cannot do. You want me to cook? I can cook. You want me to serve people? I can do that. You want me to decorate? I can do all those things. But I cannot just sit in a place for even 5 minutes and listen. We know there are a lot of people like that. And why do they behave in such a way? It is because of rajoguna. They are kriyatmika. They tend more towards action. And what's that going to happen? In the next shloka, Acharya says, kama krodho lobha dambadhyasuya अहंकारे अहंकारेर्ष्या अहंकार ईर्ष्या मत्सराद्यास्तु घोराः धर्मायेते राजसाः पुंप्रवृत्तिः अस्माद्देशा तद्रजो बन्धहेतुः. Rajoguna is manifested as kamaha. Kamaha means attachment, desire. Any desire is called as kamaha. Krodhaha. Krodhaha is anger. Lobhaha. Lobhaha is greed. Lobhaha. Lobha. Dambaha. Dambaha means hypocrisy. Asuya is spite. Ahankaraha. Ego. Irshaha. Jealousy. Matsaraha is envy. All these things are because of Rajoguna. In fact, Krishna deals with this Rajoguna in lots of places. Even in the first chapter, he says, Kamayesha Krodayesha Rajoguna Samudbhavaha Mahashano Mahapapma Vidyenam Miha Vairinam. Hey Arjuna, you have two enemies. Arjuna was thinking everybody has got lot of enemies, especially he has got all those enemies in front of him. Krishna says, no, 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 Arjuna, there are two enemies and they are born out of Rajoguna. Kamayesha, Krodayesha, Rajoguna Samudbhavaha. Do you know the real nature of those two enemies, Arjuna? He says, Mahashanaha. Ashanam means eating. Mahashanaha, big eater. It eats away all your punyas, Arjuna. Mahashana. Not only it eats away your punya, not only it destroys your punya, but it is Mahapapma. It gives you lot of papam as well, Arjuna. What is those enemies? It is Kamayeshaha, Krodhayeshaha. Kama means desire, Krodha means anger. Arjuna, you have to be very, very careful with these two enemies. Duryodhana is nothing when you compare him to these enemies. They are a very, very big problem, Arjuna, says Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. He also says in the first chapter, how does these things get manifested? It is a beautiful cycle. Two shlokas. If you don't know 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, that is fine. Just remember these two shlokas in Gita always. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodo bhijayate क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृति विभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. हे अर्जुना, ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः संगस्तेषु उपजायते. You see a lot of things that are surrounding me. I see a new model Audi car. I see a Lamborghini car. I see a Mercedes Benz. What do I happen? I imagine, hey, what is going to happen if I sit in the car? We imagine, right? Okay, I see a palatial house. I will just imagine for a moment how beautiful it would be if I own that house. Dhyayaha, Dhyayataha. That's what the first thing. Even now, this is what happens in Amazon. If we go to Amazon app, they have a product. Now to make it worse, they say, hey, just look, you can use your camera to see how this product looks at your house. Why do they have? They are not charity. Amazon is not for charity, right? Only if they show you, hey, this product is going to look like this in my living room, I will be more attached to buying the product. Those people are very keen businessmen. They really know what they're doing. They have really studied Bhagavad Gita. Whether we have studied Gita or not, it doesn't matter. They understood Gita. They say, hey, if we want the other person to make to if we want the other person to buy the stuff, first we have to do that dhyayate and sangaha. We have to ask him or her to see how this product is going to look at their place. We have to kindle their desire. So dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu pajayate. Once I have that affinity towards that product, sangat sanjayate kamaha. That has become a desire to buy the product. I really want to get that car. I really want to own that house. Sangat sanjayate kamaha, kamat krodho bhijayate. Once I have a burning desire to get something, I get angry at those people who advises me not to do that. Just like a kid really wants a chocolate, and if the parents say, hey kid, it is not going to be good for you, the kid is not going to understand whatever you say. It's going to be angry. It's going to throw all the tantrums at their parents, right? In fact, we all are like the kids. If some people comes and advises you, hey, don't do this, or hey, do this, we get angry because their interest is not aligned with my interest, we think. Sangat sanjayate kamaha, kamat krodho bhijayate, krodad bhavati sammohaha. The kids get angry, they started throwing tantrums, right? That is called as sammohaha, delusion. Krodad bhavati sammohaha, sammohat smriti vibramaha, smriti bramshat buddhinashaha, buddhinashat pranashyasi. When once I get diluted, I will completely forget what I have read. I know that chocolate is bad for me. My parents have told that. In my school, my teachers have told that. My dentist have told me if I eat those chocolate, I'm going to get all the toothache, etc. The child knows it, but at that spur of the moment, everything goes away. Smriti Vibramaha, Smriti Bramshat, Buddhinashaha. Once I get that delusion, all my intellect, my thinking power goes away. And Krishna says, Buddhinashat Pranashyati Arjuna. Once if you stop, the moment you stop to think, the moment you stop to use your intellect, it is like killing your own self, Arjuna, says Krishna. And all those things are because of Rajoguna. And if we want to stop Rajoguna from happening, what do? We have to stop eating Rajasic foods, alcohol, Rajoguna, meat, Rajoguna, it all are going to increase your Rajoguna. Already a person is so much angrier, and if he eats lot of spicy food, what's going to happen? He is going to get irritated. He is going to be even more angry. And so we have to connect this with our previous class. So all these are because of Rajoguna. Hey, Sishya, says the Guru. Now, the Guru is going to come to Sattva Guna. See, all these things are like a foot, like steps. Initially, we all have got lot of Tamo Gunas. And from Tamo Guna, from inaction, I come to Rajo Guna. I do a lot of action, but I'm not ready for scriptural studies. And from Tamo Guna, I'm coming to Sattva Guna. Sattva Guna is for knowledge. Even Sattva Guna is split into three. Here, Acharya split Sattva Guna into three types of Sattva Guna. That is Malina Sattva Guna, Mishra Sattva Guna, and Shuddha Sattva Guna. Malina means that person has got Sattva, but it is only 10 percentage, but 90 percentage he has got Rajo and Tamo. Next is Mishra. Mishra means all the things are equal. 33.3 Sattva, 33.3 Raja, 33.3 Tamo Guna. That is called as Mishra Sattva. And Shuddha Sattva is predominant Sattva. I have 90 percentage of Sattva and 10 percentage of Rajo and Tamo Guna combined. So these are the footsteps. Initially, we have lot of Tamo Guna. We did not even know about scriptures. We don't know Vedas. We have not believed in Vedas. All these things are Tamoguna. Next, we get some Shraddha. We get some understanding of Vedas. We started doing all the pujas, etc. Again, pujas are Rajoguna only because you are doing some action. But from that, you have to go to the next level, which is to come to Vedantic studies. So we all have got Sattva, we all have got predominant Sattva or more Sattva than all the other people, but we still have got a long way to go. And that is what we are going to see in the next class. How Sattva is split, how even Sattva Guna is graded as Malina Sattva, Mishra Sattva, and Shuddha Sattva, and what are all the attributes of three sattvas. And with all the three gunas completed, the next topic is going to be the nature of Atman. What is Atma? That is what the teacher is going to deal as the next topic. We will finish from here. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shanti.
Thank